Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you, coming at you with some K9 combo lines. So I wanted to make a combo video that was dedicated to pure K9, while also still being useful for people looking for other variants. So here's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna start by showing you some pure K9 combo lines with this list you're seeing here, and then after that, I'm going to show you some sample lines from the variants to give you a taste of how good they are. Mainly, we're going to cover Crystron and Vanquish Soul. But here's the thing, right? I actually have dedicated combo guides already for K9 Crystron and K9 Vanquish Soul, and those are definitely going to be better for getting a grasp on those decks in detail. But I still wanted to give you a taste of them in this video, so I'll show you one combo line from each of those variants here. If you are interested in seeing these dedicated combo guides, if this video is coming out after those, I'm going to go ahead and link them down below, either in the description and or the pinned comment. But if you've joined as a YouTube member, then you actually already got to see this video and those other combo guides right as soon as they were uploaded, because members get to see every video early. I always upload videos at least a few days, sometimes up to a week early. So if you're interested in getting this insight on these combos as soon as possible, I highly recommend clicking that join button down next to subscribe and joining as a YouTube member. Also, you will get some members exclusive videos and your name at the end of every video. Thank you, as always, to all of our YouTube members and Patreon subscribers. But let's not waste any more time. I'm going to start by showing you some pure K9 combo lines. Okay, we're going to start off with a one-card combo, K904 Noroi. Now, there is a triple tack in my opening hand here as well. However, the only reason this is here is so that my opponent has two cards in their hand. Because K9 monsters and your opponents have at least two cards in hand to normal summon without a tribute. However, if you're going first, obviously your opponent's going to have two or more cards in their opening hand. So you can ignore this triple tactics talent. It's not going to come up in the combo line at all, not even to like discard or anything. Just focus only on the Noroi. So we're going to start with normal summon K904 Noroi, and then we'll activate the effect, special summoning Izuna from deck. Izuna can activate to send Lupus from deck to graveyard, then we can overlay into Ripper. We're going to detach from Ripper in order to add K9, we'll click on it here, the Lantern, and then once we add the Lantern, we can use its effect in order to revive the Lupus. Now, in this sample hand here, I'm not adding Jokul because we're assuming that this hand only had Noroi and then like no other level 5 monsters. If you had another level 5 monster, you'd want to add Jokul instead. But here, if we have no other ones, we can go for Lantern and then just use that in order to revive Lupus from the graveyard. Then we can add a case for K9 off Lantern, use case for K9 to get Izuna, then go into Nosh Knight, detaching in order to attach the 104 specifically as a material. Then we'll throw CXC's Nosh Knight on top, activate detaching Nosh Knight to go into Umbral Horror. Umbral Horror pops a case for K9, which can then set the forced release. So that's what the Noroi one-card combo sets up. It doesn't look like a lot, because it's only two monsters, one card face down, and one monster search, right? That seems like nothing. But it's way more than it might seem at first glance. So our Umbral Horror Masquerade can not only negate the effect of a monster on the field, it also forces the opponent to discard a random card from their hand, and then they lose half of their life points. On top of that, we have K917 Ripper, which can negate any monster effect our opponent activates in the hand or graveyard. Once this negate is used, you can then activate K9X Forced Release. This will destroy a card on the opponent's field while turning the Ripper into the Werewolf, the rank 9 from the extra deck. And the Werewolf, when the opponent activates a card or effect, will let us look at our opponent's hand, pick any card from it, and then banish it until the end of the turn, providing yet another hand rep. On top of that, we do have a K917 Izuna in hand. This, when our opponent activates a card effect in the hand or graveyard, after that can special summon itself, sending another Lupus from our deck to the graveyard. Lupus will be able to summon itself back, and then we can go into a rank 5 from our extra deck, such as Valen, which can then turn a monster face down. So that is one negate, two negates, one destroy, one hand rip, two hand rips, and then turning a card face down. So that's two destroys, two hand rips, one negate, and then turning one monster face down. That is 6 layers of interruption. Again, from a board that doesn't look like much, is actually quite powerful. Let's see some other combo lines. Alright, now we're going to cover K966A Jokul, which is probably just the best starter for K9. Pretty much any variant, you always want to see Jokul in your opening hand, especially in conjunction with literally any level 5 monster. For this combo line, I'm going to show you Jokul plus any level 5 monster. As you can see, we have one from outside of the archetype. It's not even a K9 monster, so it doesn't really need to be anything specific at all. We're going to activate Jokul, special summoning itself, and the other level 5. Jokul can then add a Lantern, or sorry, Noroi from deck to hand. I'm used to other decks, but after that we can normal summon the Noroi, and then special summon Izuna from our deck. Then we can use the Izuna's effect in order to send the Lupus from our deck to the graveyard. Now, obviously we've summoned 4 times up to this point, so for our 5th summon, it's going to be K917 Ripper. Remember that Ripper can negate any monster effect activated in the hand or graveyard, so we have made ourselves Nibiru-proof with this line. We can use Ripper, detach Izuna to add Lantern. Now we can Lantern, revive the Lupus, and then Lantern effect in order to add a case for K9. We'll activate adding an Izuna for follow-up before overlaying into Nosh Knight. Nosh Knight can attach 104 and then go into CXC's Nosh Knight, Umbral Horror. Umbral Horror can then pop a case for K9, which can set Forced Release. After that, we're going to make another rank 5. In this case, it'll be the Valen, the Super Sky Blaster, and that is going to do it for this combo line. The end board is very similar to the last one, but we added an extra rank 5, as well as still having the Izuna in hand, the Force Release, the Ripper, and the Umbral Horror. So one of the coolest things about the K9 archetype is that it has a lot of inherent plays against hand traps, and Izuna is one of the biggest examples of this. In fact, if you get hit with a hand trap, Izuna actually becomes a 1-card combo. Here's how. Let's say in this hand we try to start with 7th Tachyon, and then our opponent uses Ash Blossom against it, right? Now we can activate the effect of Izuna to special summon herself. Since a card effect was activated, a monster effect was activated in our opponent's hand or graveyard, we can special summon Izuna, activate the effect in order to send Lupus from our deck to the graveyard. And now we can use Lupus's effect. For every other combo line, we've been reviving Lupus with Lantern, but if your opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, Lupus can revive himself from the graveyard during that turn. This is also why Izuna and Lupus also work as a hand trap engine, right? Because you can make a rank 5 like Valen during your opponent's turn to use as disruption. But we're going to revive the Lupus, and then we're going to overlay for Ripper. Ripper can then activate detaching to go for Lantern, and then also notice that we were able to set Forced Release. That's because Ripper's detach 1 to search effect, if your opponent used a monster effect from hand or graveyard, will also let you set the quick play spell, which is really nice. But now we can go for Lantern effect, reviving the Lupus, and then we can go Lantern, activate to add a case for K9. A case for K9 can add a follow-up Izuna, and then we can overlay for the Nosh Knight. Nosh Knight, as always, will attach 104, then we can stack the CXC's Nosh Knight on top, then we can activate that in order to go for Umbral Horror, and there's no need to activate Umbral Horror to pop a case for K9, because we already have the Force Release face down. So yeah, that's how Izuna can be a 1-card combo. It's only when you get hand trapped, but that's actually, again, what makes K9, or at least part of what makes K9 so good as a deck, is that even when you get hand trapped, it'll just trigger some of your other cards to then become their own 1-card combo line. Alright, so for Vanquish Soul K9, it's a very, very complicated deck, and I highly, for this one especially, highly recommend checking out my dedicated combo guide. Again, if that's already out publicly, I'm going to link it down below in either the description or the pinned comment. But I think if I had to pick a 2-card hand to best demonstrate what K9 Vanquish Soul is all about, it'd be Mad Love plus Holly Sue. We didn't actually open any K9 cards, but this hand can very easily set up not only all of our Vanquish Soul plays, but then our K9 stuff as well. So we're going to begin with normal summon Mad Love, activate in order to add the field spell Vanquish Soul Start. That can activate targeting Mad Love to add a Vanquish Soul monster that is non-dark from our deck to our hand. we're going to grab Xiaolong because we already opened Holisu, but if you opened Mad Love plus Xiaolong, you could then just do this exact same sequence and then add Holisu instead. So it can be Mad Love plus either of these monsters, but now we're going to link away Mad Love for Rock the Vanquisher. Rock's going to add back the Mad Love. We can activate Holisu to special summon, then reveal a Fire in a Dark, Mad Love plus Xiaolong to summon another Xiaolong from deck. And now this is how we pivot into K9. We can use Holisu plus Xiaolong to make K9 17 Ripper. And then Ripper is going to add Jokul from our deck to our hand. And because we have a Xiaolong a level 5 in hand, now we can activate Jokul to special summon herself and the Xiaolong. We can use Jokul's effect to add a Lantern and then overlay into the Nosh Knight. We're going to go into the 104 underneath it, but I'm not going to overlay CXEs and summon Umbral Horror just yet, because we need a case for K9 to pop first. So first we're going to special summon Lantern, activate in order to revive Jokul, then use the on-field effect to add a case for K9. We'll activate, add a follow-up Izuna, then overlay into the Sky Blaster. Now we're going to go CXEs, Nosh Knight, Umbral Horror, pop the case for K9, set the Force Release, and then we'll pass over to our opponent. So as you can see, we're doing a lot of the same stuff that K9 was doing in its pure line for the Vanquish Soul build. There are other Vanquish Soul combo lines that will set up the Snow Devil with the start, not only off its effect, but also having all the attributes in hand. Again, highly recommend checking out my dedicated K9 Vanquish Soul combo guide for lines like that. But yeah, you can see here how a lot of the end board here is the same as the K9 setup with our powerful rank 5s and the Force Release to go into the Werewolf. Alright, for our K9 Crystron combo line, I'm going to show you how you can go from K9 cards into a full Crystron setup. I'll demonstrate this with Jokul and even another copy of itself. You don't have to have a Crystron level 5, it could be any level 5 monster, but we're going to activate Jokul, summon the 2 copies from our hand, activate the on-field effect to add a Lantern. Now we can overlay into Ripper. Ripper will detach to add Izuna here. We can use Lantern, special Jokul from the graveyard, Lantern effect to add a case for K9, activate case for K9 to add Noroi for a follow-up play. And now we're going to go into River Stormer here. So River Stormer is a generic rank 5 that will allow us to detach and add an Earth Machine from our deck to our hand. And this line has not used its normal summon, meaning we're going to add and then normal summon Scrap Recycler. Scrap Recycler on summon lets us send a machine monster from our deck to the graveyard, which is going to be our Crystron Smiger. But we're not going to send just the one machine. We're actually going to link off our Scrap Recycler for Clockwork Knight, and Clockwork Knight actually has a quote-unquote hidden effect where you contribute one other machine monster to summon a machine with 1,000 or less attack from your graveyard. So by getting rid of that River Stormer, we can then revive the Scrap Recycler. And Scrap Recycler, being an older card, is not once per turn, so we can use its effect yet again. This time, we're going to send Sulfenir. So we sent Smiger the first time, and then Sulfenir the second time. Now we can go Smiger Graveyard Effect to add Inclusion. We're going to activate Inclusion to add Sulfador. Sulfenir Graveyard Effect discards Sulfador in order to special summon itself. Now, before we special summon Sulfador from the graveyard, it's important to note that once you do, you're going to be locked into machine types, right? So before we use Sulfador's effect, we're actually going to want to, after we pop a case for K9 and set Force Release, we're going to actually link away Clockwork Knight and the Scrap Recycler for SP Little Knight. By the way, I didn't explain that clearly. A case for K9 was destroyed by the effect of Sulfenir when it summoned itself from the graveyard. But, alright, now we've summoned all of our non-machines up to this point that we need to, so we can activate Sulfador, pop Inclusion, summon itself, activate, and then we're going to want to send the Tristaros level 2 tuner and cluster the trap card from our deck to the graveyard. After doing so, we can use Inclusion's graveyard effect, reviving Tristaros, then we can synchro for Eleskeletus, use that to add back Cluster, then we can use Tristaros' graveyard effect, banishing it to target and destroy Eleskeletus. This will let us summon out another Sulfenir and Sulfador from our deck. It'll also trigger the Eleskeletus effect to summon that Sulfador back from our graveyard. And now that we have all of these level 5 machine monsters on the field, we can make some rank 5 machine monsters. We can make the Chronomaly Vimana, which is a monster effect negate, and then of course we're going to go Nova plus Infinity for the Omni negate. So there is the setup for K9 Crystron. We have the Force released with the Ripper, as always, from our K9 side of things. We've got multiple negates with our machine rank 5s, Cluster and pop cards, and SP Little Knight is just the cherry on top. And there you have it. There is not only how to combo with pure K9, but also a little bit of a taste of what other K9 variants can do. As I mentioned a couple of times before, if you want to see a dedicated Crystron combo guide or a dedicated K9 Vanquish Soul combo guide, if this video is coming out after those, and those videos are already publicly available, like I said, I'll go ahead and link them down in the description below or the pinned comment, if not both. But as always, if you are a channel member, then you've probably already seen those videos as well as this one. It's also worth noting that if you choose to go over to patreon.com/hexlex, there you can see exclusive videos that don't get uploaded to YouTube. We often talk about new card releases. I have games over there that I don't have time to show over here on the channel that we look at, among other cool stuff going on over there as well. So huge shout out to everyone who's supporting, from both Patreon subscribers to YouTube members to you watching all the way to the end of the video. I hugely appreciate each and every one of you. Let's go ahead and move on to our outro, where we can specifically thank those Patreon subscribers and YouTube members. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.